Hi guys, I'm going to be doing a quick trade review. Hope you like this YouTube channel I'm creating. I'm mostly creating it for accountability and because I love trading and I just want to show other people how to trade as well. So this is an investment trading mecca. Today I'm doing a trade review on July 8th, 2022 and why Confluence is so important in trading, and when so many things line up for a trade, you really got to take those trades. When things line up, those are the best trades. But a little background: I primarily trade options. I do investment, swing trading, day trading. But I'm primarily day trading options. Uh, Dollar out of the money, maybe sometimes at the money, just depending on where it's at, but and how much room I want to give it. But going over this trade and why I believe it was a good trade. As you can see, this is where I entered right here at around 386. My exit was around 388.5. The reason I believe this was such a good trade was because there were so many things that lined up on why I wanted to take the trade. Just from top down approach, you have a 9, this is the 9 EMA as well, the gray line. The 20 is the green line, or the gray line is the 9 EMA. The green line is the 20 SMA, and the reddish line is the 200 SMA. So, going over Confluence, when so many things line up in a trade, when so many eyeballs are on it, so many different traders, moving average crossover traders, people who trade first touch on a moving average or bounces off moving averages, support and resistance traders, pre-market high, pre-market low traders. When you have so many people looking at the trade, that's when you really want to take trades. When everything's lining up, so many eyeballs are on it. We got pattern traders, technical analysis traders, support resistance, which is the same as technical analysis pretty much, moving average traders. When those traders are all looking at it and it all lines up for all of them, you want to take the trade. For me, honestly, it's when a lot of times is when there's a moving average and a support or resistance level that is in the same exact spot or near each other. That's when I really like taking those trades. So from the top down, you're looking at the daily chart right here. You have a 920 cross. Normally when 920 crosses happen, there's some follow through. As you can see, 920 cross to the upside yesterday, rips. Today, didn't absolute rip, but there were some moves. I'm more bullish though. As you can see, 920 cross to the downside, I'm more bearish. 920 cross to the upside, I'm more bullish. And it doesn't always work. As you can see, more consolidated right here. 920 cross to the downside, I'm bearish. And there were some big moves. 920 cross to the upside, I'm bullish. There's some big moves. 920 to the downside, bearish. Some big moves. As you can see, it's just a little telltale sign. It helps me decide, hey, do I want to be bearish? Do I want to be bullish? Also, another crossover that I really like is on the hourly. Except this one is the 20 and the 200. When these cross, I'm also more bullish. If they cross the downside, I'm more bearish. So the 20 and the 200, it crossed yesterday in pre-market, or in the after. It crossed 2 days ago yesterday, so I'm more bullish. On the 30, obviously, also on these charts, support and resistance, just basic support and resistance. There's big support and resistance levels. As you can see, it's more obvious when you go on smaller time frames because there's more candlesticks, more bars. But as you can see, this was a pivot. You know what I mean? It got up to this level, it tanked, right? Consolidated, went sideways, broke out, never tested it, retested in the morning, ripped. On the 15, you can see breakout to this level, resistance, tanks, consolidates, rips, goes back to the pivot high, rips. On the 5 minute, as you can see, rips to it, pivot high, tanks, so it becomes resistance, right? Becomes resistance. breaks out, consolidates overnight, breaks out, never comes back and tests it. Next day comes, tests the previous pivot high, also resistance pivot high, same thing. Retest it. Resistance, when it's broken out of, becomes support, comes back, becomes support, rips. Not only that, you also got pre-market lows right here in the same vicinity. So you got the pre-market low traders who like saying, hey, pre-market lows, I want to go long. You got those guys. On the 15 minute, you also got the 200. It's already bounced off in the morning earlier. It gets very close to bouncing off. So you have a whole nother group of people that have eyeballs on it. You take the trade, you call it, and you set your levels. You say, hey, for me, I'm buying 386 calls. I'm risking the lows of pre-market. It was around 30 cents. It was around 30 cents on the contracts because it's 60 cents on the actual chart at the money, 50 delta, so half. And my target is high of day, pivot highs, recent pivot high, high of day. So it was 388.5. This returned around a 4.2R risk to reward ratio. So a lot of things lined up. When you have big risk to reward ratios, you don't have to be right often. You can be right around 35% of the time if you're running a 3-to-1 risk to reward, and you'll make some decent money if you're right 35% of the time. It's not that hard. It's hard, but as long as you take your stops and you're not having monster losers and you're in the game long enough, you'll realize your setups and be able to capitalize on those setups and let them hit your target, take profits, or get stopped out. On this trade, actually, on the option, that's why I like options so much. First of all, you don't have to break the bank to trade them. You make 100% returns on some of these trades, but when you get bigger size, obviously, but it's pretty solid. You're not even if you're below PDT, you're able to trade a cash account, options, next day settlement, boom. It's not a huge deal. So, or if you're over PDT, you could say, hey, I'm gonna be risking 60 cents, and you just set your OCO order, sells you out like that. But as you can see, bought here, risk low of day or pre-market lows. Target was pivot high, sold into it. On the options, it was around a 5.2R, I believe a little over 5.2R trade. And it was actually over 100% gainer as well. So, guys, this is my first trade review. Hopefully, I'll be getting better at this. I know I'm a little all over the place, but as time goes on, hopefully it gets better and you learn my setup more and more and more. Thank you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be coming out with more advice on day trading, how to read charts, and I'll be going over my trade reviews, hopefully on a day-by-day basis. Thank you guys, and have a good night.